Crossroads, see how the Marion High School band is marching back out onto the field.
I'll put the pedal to the metal in a demolition car.
And the Boys and Girls Club brings back some legends. I'm Shaylee Clark.
And I'm Randall King. It's all new this week on Crossroads.
Are you used to making macaroni and cheese from a box? Well, that's how I used to make it, but recently I've tried my hand at a homemade version. This involves 4 types of cheese. Join me this week on Good Hoosier Cooking as we try the recipe that involves that. I'm going to go ahead and pair it with some peas and carrots. We look forward to having you join us.
Every week on your community station, WIWU TV. Visit our website at wiwutv.com/about for station and FCC info.
Hey folks, Buck McNeely here, inviting you to join me for another exciting adventure of the Outdoorsman TV show. For over 2 decades, we've traveled the planet in search of high adventure, combining exotic locations, hunting, fishing, and important conservation issues in this world-class TV series. Join me for the next episode of The Outdoorsman.
Welcome to Gas City, Indiana, Fisher Field here at Mississinewa High School for the WIWU Grant County High School football game of the week. Along with Coach Ron Vermillion, I'm Roger Alcock, and Coach, we are really looking forward to what should be an outstanding high school football game tonight. We've got the Indians of Mississinewa and Eastbrook Panthers, 2 teams that are fighting to stay in that upper echelon of the CIC. We've got rivalry matchups. This has all the makings of what should be a great ball game.
You know, Roger, this is true Grant County football from the standpoint that these 2 schools share a common boundary. And we're kind of looking at it almost like a civil war, because not only do you have neighbor against neighbor, you have family against family. Now, Cade McCoyne is the freshman quarterback for Mississinewa, and he's done quite well. Yeah. You know, you think freshmen, they're not going to be that good, but they've done quite well. And then Tyler Bennett for Eastbrook is his cousin. So literally we have quarterbacks who are family. This is an all-out war today, because in the family they want to decide who is going to be the top dog in the family. And of course, they're on Mississinewa's home field. Yep. We've got the ducktail run out there around us, and truly this is going to be, I think, a special game, because you've got Jeff Adamson, who is an established coach, 20-some years and nothing but success, against Kurt Funk, who has come in the last 3 or 4 years and turned this program around. So it's going to be a real fun ball game to call for you and I.
Well, and it's going to be a football game where we see a lot of rushing of the football. 2 teams who run the football very effectively. They do it differently in different styles, but whoever can stop the run then maybe on the defensive end could be the team that wins this game.
Well, for both teams, the outside backers are going to have to cross key, which just simply means they've got to look from their side to the other side and make sure to see if motion guy is coming back at me, because both teams run a lot of counter and they do a lot of things off of motion.
All right, well, as we said, it should be a great one. Toe is set to meet leather here when we come back and kick this one off from Fisher Field and Mississinewa High School. It's the Panthers and the Indians on the Grant County High School football game of the week here on WIWU.
Here on Crossroads, we tell the stories of people and places that make Grant County a community.
Remember to visit us at WIWUTV.com, where you can connect with Crossroads 24/7.
Catch up on past stories and send us a few of your own.
And be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook for a behind-the-scenes look at upcoming episodes.
WIWUTV.com. We are Grant County.
Welcome back to Fisher Field here in Gas City, Indiana, Mississinewa High School. This is the Grant County High School football game of the week on WIWU. We're going to send it down to the third member of our broadcast team tonight and check in with Katrina Blackman.
All right, some keys for Mississinewa today, speaking with Coach Funk, is to successfully run the football against the defense, to play good assignment football today, and to get some stops against their runs. Speaking with Coach Adamson for Eastbrook, they want to make sure they stop Markley and Daly, and they also want to get long drives tonight. Back to you, Roger, in the press box.
All right, thank you very much, Katrina Blackman. We look forward to checking in with her throughout the evening. And Coach Vermillion, kind of echoing the coach's sentiments, what we talked about already is, running the football but stopping it. Neither team, though, has really been stopped on this season in terms of running the football. Both have good tailbacks and running games.
Roger, both teams average over 30 points a game. So what we may see is a track meet instead of a football game. And we may see one of the teams step up and play some defense. And the team that steps up and plays defense will probably win this game because both offenses appear to be awfully potent.
And we'll talk names and we'll mention names. We'll talk about, Blake Daly from Mississinewa, Corley Markley, and Cade McCoy, their quarterback. For the Eastbrook Panthers, we'll hear Luke Elliott and Peyton Watson, Bennett, Tyler Bennett, the fine quarterback. But this game, when we talk about these issues, we're going to be talking, we're watching the big guys in the middle, in the trenches, because as the game progresses, the team that can, maybe keep their defense off the field or dominate the other one's offensive defensive line. That's where this kind of game is won or lost.
Roger, when we were down on the field doing our pregame interview, we were right next to the Mississinewa linemen, and they're huge.
Yeah.
They are big, not just for a 3A team, but for a 4A and a 5A team. They've got some guys that are up in the 6'3" to 6'5" range, and carrying a lot of beef up there. So it's no wonder that they can score because they've got a big line that can move people out.
The little guy on the Mississinewa offensive line, Cody Hensley, 5'10", 250, but then you see Jarrett Bowen, 6'3", 260, Trevor Westling, 6'2", 255. Hayden Trent, one of the tackles, 6'5", 300 pounds. And, he was pretty well put together. He's good 6'5", 300 pound. He wasn't he was. He looked like he was built.
And I'm looking at Eastbrook's size right here. They don't nearly match up as far as the weight goes. But they do have some guys that are 6'2" and 6 foot. But when you're looking at guys that are 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", the advantage as we look out there at the coin toss looks like it's going to go to Mississinewa.
Well, and indeed, we waiting here for the results of the coin toss. Looks like Eastbrook has won, and they'll defer to the second half. And so they will kick off, and Mississinewa will receive the opening kickoff. Again, a very important football game tonight in terms of what's going to happen in the CIC. This is the middle part of that conference schedule. Things are going to start to shake themselves out, and if either team wants a shot at a conference title, they cannot afford to lose tonight. They have to win tonight.
The team that wins this ball game will have the upper hand as they go. There'll still be at least a chance to play those two teams in that have not lost in the conference yet. But for the team that loses, it could be devastating because it'll put them back to 500. And make no mistake about it, because I've been around Grant County football. It's not just a CIC game; it's a Grant County game. And when all Grant County, when you're playing each other, there's just a little more impetus to establish yourself as the best team in the county.
The other thing I'm kind of interested to watch tonight, Ron, is to see how Eastbrook bounces back from a very, very tough loss in a phenomenal football game last week against Madison Grant. Back and forth. They scored the touchdown with about, 30 seconds to go. Go for 2 points, go for the win. They've come up a little bit short. They have to be able to kind of put that game behind them and look forward today.
I don't think there's any problem with that. I've known Coach Adamson for 25 years, and he is when he loses a game, his teams are great at coming back and winning the next game. So I think they'll be up. I think Mississinewa will be up, and we're going to be right here for them.
Anthony Standridge, one of the Indians back to receive for Mississinewa. We're getting ready to kick this one off. It's the Panthers of Eastbrook and the Mississinewa Indians. Ethan Kramer approaches, gets that kickoff, and it goes to Standridge at the 20. Right sideline out to the 25, and there's a flag on the play. And so we'll wait to see what that call is, but most likely against the return team.
Yeah, it's probably a holding. Sandridge that time actually got a nice block here right about the 30-yard line and got up to the 40 or to the 35. Good return on a ball that, quite frankly, wasn't kicked very far, just to the 20-yard line.
But with the penalty, instead of the football being about the 35-yard line, the 34, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Indians back at their own 34-yard line. Of course, the quarterback, Cade McCoyne, only a freshman. You don't often see freshmen starting, but McCoyne's a good one.
And he's throwing at 56%, which for anybody is pretty good, but for a freshman, pretty phenomenal.
That fullback, Markley, but the handoff goes to Blake Daly. His first carry gets about a yard. He's 2nd and 9.
That was just an ISO where they lead with the fullback off the left tackle, and that offensive or defensive Eastbrook stepped right up and got him just as he was crossing the line of scrimmage.
Of course, neither one of these football teams will throw the ball very often, but Mississinewa will throw maybe just a little bit more than Eastbrook will. Another handoff. That time a gain of about, we'll give him a gain of about 7 yards. And he'll set up a 3rd down and 2.
It looked like they came out with the very same play. Right here's the ISO with Daly coming right up the left tackle, and he busts forth and gets that 7 yards to put him in a 3rd down and 1 situation.
First 3rd down for Mississinewa. Receiver goes in motion to left. Inside handoff. He breaks a tackle and gets the 1st down yardage. And Ron, I think that time Daly looked like for just a moment he's going to be stopped short of the 1st down marker, but he was able to pick it up.
Well, I think it might have been Markley carrying the ball. If we see something here, I think it's Markley on a trap maybe coming back. And he bounces it off. He gets stopped at the line, bounces it off, carries it up, and gets the 1st down easily.
1st down right at the 40-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards on that carry. Out to the 46, just across the 46, make it the 47-yard line.
That's 3 carries now for Blake Daly, and we said he is the workhorse of this team. He's going to carry the load between the tackles and try to bust through that Eastbrook defense that's running a 5-3 defense right now.
Here's a pitch to the left side, and he has some running room. Down the left sideline, he the 10-5 touchdown.
Wow.
Blake Daly breaks it to the house along the left side of that offensive line, and once he got out in the open run, no one was going to touch him.
53-yard pickup on a ball that right here, we'll see it. All he does is turn around and toss Daly the ball. We're going to get a crack inside from the flanker in motion, and he turns it up, and he just outruns everybody on the Eastbrook defense.
Well, a 5-play drive capped off by the 53-yard touchdown from Blake Daly, and with the extra point no good, the Mississinewa Indians take the early lead 7-0. And talked about some defensive keys for Eastbrook was containment. That time they lost containment.
You know, they did a nice job, and I'm talking about Mississinewa with their offense. They hammered it inside and hammered it inside for 5 straight plays, and then they give the toss outside to the left to Blake Daly, and once he gets that kick out from the motion man on the inside or the outside backer, it was just, can you beat me on a foot race? And I told you it may be a track meet tonight, and we saw the beginning of almost a 50-yard, or a little over a 50-yard dash.
Well, we were talking a little bit before tonight's broadcast about Blake Daly and, averaging 165 yards a ball game. That's how you average 165. You break a 50-yarder every once in a while.
He carried the ball 4 times in that series. Got 1 yard, he got 7 yards, he got 6 yards, and oh, by the way, the 4th time he got 53 yards.
Well, it will be time for the Eastbrook Panthers to try to respond. They're ready to receive the kickoff. Taking about the 18. A little bit of a hole there. And now across the 35. Good field position on a nice return that time for Eastbrook. And that was Luke Elliott.
Luke Elliott on the carry. He catches it on the left side, follows his blockers up to about the 41-yard line. Really pretty good position for Eastbrook on its first series.
Even though, as we take a look at the replay here, and the nice return, gets some pretty good blocking.
Breaks a tackle there, breaks another tackle there, and gets that extra yardage that a good back is going to get you.
Invariably, when you see a great kick return, there's a great block somewhere in there, and then there's somewhere where the carrier breaks a tackle. Well, that first down carry picks up about 4 yards. Well, actually about 3 yards. And it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Luke Elliott, here's the replay. Luke Elliott from his fullback spot.
Bennett is going to eat the football back to the 39-yard line. Eastbrook got to the line of scrimmage rather quickly, tried to get the play off, but Tyler Bennett could not get away from the defender, and he goes down back at the 39. And so they're now, Eastbrook, back at the original line of scrimmage.
Well, it's definitely a bum play.
Bennett's looking to throw on the run. Has his man out at midfield. First down. The pickup there that time to number 47. Was that Justin Reese?
I believe it was.
Bennett looked pretty good throwing the football on the run that time.
Coach Adamson had him come from a play-action position. They faked the dive that Luke Elliott ran, and then they come out and hit the drag route from the left going across the right for about 11 yards and a first down.
Bennett. There's the handoff. Watson. Nice gainer that time, close to the first down. I don't even know if they'll have to measure that time. It looked like he picked up about 10.5 yards on that carry.
Well, they run all 3 backs back there. And this time they bring Watson back from the left side to the right side. He turns it up, gets 10 yards and a first down.
Well, Eastbrook on the march here, looking to respond to that touchdown early from Mississinewa. Bennett under trouble. Somehow is able to get around the corner, and what looked like it was going to be a loss on the play ends up being a pickup of about 5, maybe 6 yards.
speed option here with Bennett going right down the line. He's got a pitch back. He's got the outside backer coming out. He beats him, and he turns the ball up and finally gets shoved out of bounds. He picks up about 7 yards.
Here's Elliott, inside handoff. Good blocking inside from that interior of the Eastbrook offensive line. They get Elliott inside the 25, down to the 22, and another Eastbrook first down.
What we saw here, and they're back on the line, we saw a trap play with Elliott coming right back and picks up some first down, actually, and they're on the move.
Watson looks over to the sideline, waiting for that signal. I believe this is the 6th play of the drive. Bennett under center, Watson in motion. Gives the other side. And let's see, who was that carrying the football that time? Number 28.
That was
Wallace.
Williams, Brendan Williams. And they this is their basic set that they run. Here it comes on the counter coming back. They fake the ball back to the right. Williams came back to the left and picked up 7 yards.
Another nice gainer on first down for Eastbrook. So it sets up a 2nd down and 3. 7 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Bennett keeps it. This time he's hemmed in, and he will be knocked back for no gain. Well, he picked up about a half a yard with that spot.
Pretty good tackle that time. Coming up from the secondary was Jordan Arms and gets the tackle and right at the line of scrimmage.
Arms, the leading tackler for the Indians. Well, 9 tackles a game, and now a flag is going to be thrown, and I don't know if it's a shift, an offside penalty.
While they're getting ready here, this formation that they run is basically the same formation. And when we see it next time, we'll freeze it and we'll show you what we mean. They've got a wing off to the right side and a wing off to the left side and a fullback, and they just kind of play cards out there and shuffle the deck, and whoever comes out with it, you better tackle.
Well, in essence, then you have 4 guys who can run the football.
Exactly.
The quarterback, Bennett, Watson, Peyton Watson, number 3. Wallace on the other side, and, of course, Luke Elliott, the fullback. This time, Bennett keeps it inside the 5-yard line and down about the 2.5-yard line. So it'll be a 1st and goal for Eastbrook.
7-yard pickup, and that's his 4th carry of the game. He's got 10 yards now, but he's getting the hard yards for him. He's getting the where he's keeping. Certainly, this has been a team deal because 4 players in that backfield, all 4 have run the ball in this series.
Well, a good return of the kickoff has set up a nice drive here from Eastbrook as they try to respond and get their first points on the board, and it's very close. No sign yet from the officials as Luke Elliott stopped just shy of the goal line. You can see the football there in that orange goal line.
It's right there. Nose is touching the goal line, and certainly Elliott from his fullback position. They got out of that wing set and they went to a wing or to a T, what we call a full house situation. They're in it again, and this is just power football right now.
Left side,
good.
Bouncing off of one tackler and then going into the end zone for the Eastbrook Panthers as Zach Martin, the 5'10", 200-pound fullback, and the Panthers are on the scoreboard. He was going to be stopped short.
He was absolutely stopped short. Extra effort.
Kept his legs moving. Well, Kramer is in to attempt the extra point for the Eastbrook Panthers. Snap is down, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it is good. And we're tied up at 7 apiece with 4 minutes and 57 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Well, 2 possessions, 2 pretty impressive drives from these offenses.
2 complete different drives, too, Roger. One was a power game in Mississinewa where they got a guy open on a pitch. The other was just, I'm going to run it right down your throat, so to speak. You better try to tackle us because if we get 3 or 4 yards every time, we're going to keep the ball moving. That kind of offense that Jeff Adamson's crew from Eastbrook just runs a lot of time off the clock and is very effective on keeping their offense, and I'm talking about Mississinewa, off the field.
Well, 7-7 here with 4 minutes and 57 seconds to go here in the first quarter. The sun is starting to set here at Fisher Field here in Gas City. A beautiful night for high school football here in Grant County. And, of course, I would imagine about 99% of these folks here tonight, when they're done, are going to head over and look at some classic cars.
Yeah, they will. And I tell you what, we've had 2 series, 2 touchdowns. We talked about this maybe being a high-scoring game. Right now it looks like every time down – they're going to have a chance to score.
7-7 as Kramer steps up and gets a short kick taken at the 21-yard line. Brought out to the 35, out to the 37 or 38-yard line for Mississinewa. That was number 23 on the carry, Andrew Weiss.
Good field position again. I think what Eastbrook is trying to do on their kickoff is not get it deep. I believe Daly is deep, and they don't want to kick to him, so they're kicking off to the side. But still, the Mississinewa having great field position on the first 2, having taken the ball up to at least the 35. Now, I know they had a penalty, but right now everything that Mississinewa is doing looks really good. And we talked earlier about the size. I don't know if this size is going to wear Eastbrook down, but certainly Eastbrook has or Mississinewa has the size advantage.
Well, a whistle before the snap. Cody Cowgill was in motion towards the formation, but Mississinewa calls a timeout. Coach Funk did not see or saw something he did not like.
He didn't like what he saw, I think, from Eastbrook's defense, the fact that they creeped a linebacker up there and probably to the hole that they were going to go to. So Coach Kurt Funk, he's really a pretty good tactician, and far as he's going to make sure that the plays he calls are the plays that are going to give his kids the advantage.
And, of course, he's brought a lot of success here to Mississinewa High School in this football program, and certainly has brought them a long way in just a few short years.
Yeah, he has. We were talking, you and I were talking before the game started, the fact that about 4 years ago, Mississinewa's football fortunes looked like they were going bankrupt. I know they had a season where they didn't win one. They had one where they only won one. And enters this very, very young coach named Kurt Funk. And since then, the Mississinewa fortunes have gone to nothing but premier stock, so to speak.
Well, we're ready to try this once again. Go to McCoyne under center. Backs in the I formation. Once again, Cowgill in motion. From the right to the left. Handoff. Daly off the left tackle, and Daly picks up about 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 5.
They come back with the very first play they had in the first series, and that's that off-tackle ISO play where the fullback leads up on the linebacker, and a nice 5-yard pickup.
Gain of about 5 yards on the play brings up 2nd down.
And, Coach, when you pick up 5-6 yards on first down, it just gives you so many more options and what you can do offensively. Here's the handoff one more time to Daly. He has first down yardage and more as it gets across midfield into Panther territory and taken down at the 48-yard line of Eastbrook, a gain of 7 that time. Boy, you pick up 7-8 yards per carry. And
young man really runs hard. The same play with the fullback leading. He runs over people, carries tacklers an additional 5 yards to pick up a first down.
Will be another Mississinewa first down as we're under 4 minutes to go here in the first quarter. McCoyne under center. Well, this is just straight out power football right now, isn't it?
Power football with a fullback leading, and that is a 4-yard pickup. That gives this young man 84 yards already in the first quarter. Still have 3 minutes to go.
Now there's a Mississinewa Indian coming off the field. That might be Arms. It is Jordan Arms, which defensively for the Indians, that's a big loss. He's their leading tackler.
Right.
It's 2nd down and 6 after that Daly pickup. Oh, there's a big hole. And Daly gets it inside the 20, is hauled down inside the 15 at the 14.
30-yard pickup for Daly. And he's just running over people out there. He's a man among boys as he runs that ISO play. They're getting a good kick out or good block on the linebacker. They're using the lineman to blow a hole in the line, and then he's just running to daylight.
And he's already unofficially over 100 yards rushing on the ground. We're still in the first quarter.
I have him at 114 yards, 8 carries.
In motion to the right. Cowgill. Inside handoff this time to Markley.
And off to Corey Markley.
Not as much running room that time, but you got to change it up every once in a while. Get Markley a carry there, keep that defense honest.
They like to run the tackle or the trap with Markley, and the trap just simply means from the left guard pulls across the right side, kicks out the down tackle on the right side, and he tries to run in behind it.
But 2nd down and 7. Ball right on the 20-yard line. McCoy under center. Right side, Daly.
Blake Daly.
A nice little just hesitation stutter step and cuts it back to inside and picks up a couple yards.
Young man has a lot of talent. He picks up some 7 yards there with just a couple. Yeah, here he comes right up the middle. A good kick out from the motion man, and he gets the ball down to the 5-yard line.
3rd and 2 for the Indians.
It'll be 3rd down and 2 for Mississinewa. They have not had very many 3rd down situations yet. This may be the first 3rd down they've had tonight. Daly, left side, has 1st down and more.
Blake Daly
inside the 10 and down to the 6-yard line. So it'll be 1st and goal now.
1st and goal
for Mississinewa.
24 is Zach Martin on the tackle.
So far,
Eastbrook.
the Panthers have had no answer for Blake Daly.
This young man runs hard, and he runs kind of straight up, which surprises me that he's that powerful to break that many tackles.
Markley this time gets the hand up right up the middle. Inside the 5 and down at about the 2 or 3 yard line.
Andrew Rumpel on the tackle for Eastbrook.
He's 2nd down and goal to go. The ball at the 2.
2nd goal for the Indians.
Mississinewa looking to take back the lead.
Line.
We're under 1 minute to play now here in the first quarter. McCoy. Daly hit right at the line of scrimmage. He stacked up there, and he maybe picked up a half a yard.
That time he was stopped by the entire line. They all clamped in on him. That's the first time a young man's been stopped in this game.
3rd and goal for the Indians from the Panther 1 yard line.
You see the replay. That's a pretty good stand that time from the Panther defensive line. Well, we'll see if they get the play off before the end of the first quarter. Bennett is under center. Pitch back, left side. Turning upfield is Daly. He
pitch out to Daly.
Comes up just short, and it'll be 4th down.
Good goal line stand by Eastbrook.
And stop short of the goal line.
And here they are on the pitch, and he turns it up, and here comes your linebacker inside. That's 44. That's Elliott, who comes from his linebacker spot and takes him down for no gain.
Well, that will be the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a break. When we'll come back, the Indians will have it 4th and goal from the 1 yard line. Don't go away. This is Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU.
used to making macaroni and cheese from a box. Well, that's how I used to make it. But recently I've tried my hand at a homemade version. This involves 4 types of cheese. Join me this week on Good Hoosier Cooking as we try the recipe that involves that. I'm going to go ahead and pair it with some peas and carrots. We look forward to having you join us.
Every week on your community station, WIWU TV.
Back in Gas City, Indiana, Mississinewa High School, along with the coach Ron Vermillion. I'm Roger Alcock. We've got an outstanding football game here. First quarter in the books now. The Mississinewa Indians looking to take back the lead here as they have it 4th and goal. We're going to call it officially from the 1-yard line. Nobody out wide. Well, now the receiver goes that way. The keeper for McCoy, did he get in? He did. Touchdown, Mississinewa.
Give Markley an assist on that. Did you see him shove the quarterback, Chad McCoy, right in the end zone, and a touchdown for the young freshman.
And there's the cannon going off. And Mississinewa Indians have taken back the lead, 13-7, extra point to come. And in just a moment, maybe we'll get a look at that replay.
Okay.
And here it is.
That double tight end, and all this is a quarterback sneak. He's not very big, but he is 160 pounds, and he shoves his way in, and the fullback, Markley, comes right behind him and gives him a little extra effort, and I'm not sure you can assist Roger, but in that case, he did get into the end zone. Touchdown for Mississinewa. Game on.
The extra point is good, and so the Mississinewa Indians take the 14-7 lead on the first play of the second quarter. And so, Coach, just like the first possession Mississinewa had and went down and scored on that long touchdown run from Daly, now Eastbrook is going to have to try to possess the football and see if they can't respond right here.
The thing I liked what Eastbrook did defensively is they tightened up as they got into the red zone. The red zone is inside the 20-yard line. They tightened their defense up, made it a little more tough for Blake Daly, but Markley's runs and McCoy's run certainly were pretty important at that. Right now, Mississinewa, they don't have to throw the ball because the run is producing about 5 to 7 yards, and when Daly runs it, it's even more than that.
Eastbrook back ready to receive.
Zach Clark and
the kickoff.
Elliott, deep man for Eastbrook.
And Josh Walton getting ready to kick this one away. He, with the yellow shoes, gets it off to Elliott. Takes it at the 20-yard line. Elliott across 25. Pushes his way out across the 35, out to the 37, maybe the 38-yard line. And so once again, Eastbrook will start with pretty good field position.
Yeah, I think Elliott at that time was waiting for the line, his wall to form, and maybe waited just a little bit too long. He got a nice pickup, got the ball up to the 39, and once again, Eastbrook in very good field position as they start the ball. I was going to mention one thing. Unofficially, I had Blake Daly, 12 carries, about 120 yards. That's 10 yards a carry. So every time he's carrying, he's averaging a first down.
Panthers.
And out to Peyton Watson.
Peyton Watson that time gets a nice pickup. Looks like to be about 7 yards. His second carry, and he has 17 yards on those 2 carries.
Fullback led through that time. Elliott led him, and he came from the backside, going to the right side, picks up 7 yards, and Eastbrook's at second down and 3.
Wallace goes in motion to the left. Watson gets the inside handoff, and this time nowhere going. And Arms, who walked off the field just a little bit ago, shaken up, is back in there and makes the stop.
Trevor Wessling in on that tackle too.
And so now Eastbrook with a third down situation here, 3rd and 2, and it's
just one pass thrown in this game so far, and that was Eastbrook's connection.
Time Bennett's going to keep it. He was hit and he dives forward. I think he got the first down.
Well, you're rolling the dice here when you go 4th down. The officials have it officially past the line, so they're going to give them a first down.
Well, a nice conversion there in that third down for Eastbrook. They keep their drive alive. And Bennett, on his fifth carry of the ball game, gets that Eastbrook first down. This time Wallace on the inside handoff. Not much running room there as he gets it right to midfield. Picks up a yard. And it'll be 2nd down and 9.
Mississinewa's defense kind of tightening up. We haven't talked a whole lot about it, but you see they're lined up with 5 men on the line of scrimmage and 2 linebackers. Those linebackers read really well. They're off at about 5 yards.
Inside handoff. And a nice pickup on that 2nd down play inside the 40-yard line. And the first down almost to the 36-yard line. Will be spotted at the 37.
Good 12-yard pickup.
And that time on the carry for Eastbrook, I think that was Alex Gunter, number 32.
Yeah, it was Gunter.
This time Bennett keeps it. Oh, and he's hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Might have got a yard on that play.
He stopped by number 2.
Now pick up of 2 yards.
And once again, Arms does a nice job from his backer spot coming up and making the stop right here, taking him down. Gets a little help there from Anthony Standridge too.
You know, I wonder if Luke Elliott was maybe injured on that kickoff return because we've seen a lot of Gunter in.
Yes, we have.
Watson, right side, tries to get the edge. He gets a nice little pickup inside the 30-yard line, down to the 29. Watson's not a big back, but got some speed and he's got some toughness.
Yes, he does. He's that wing back over there on the left side. He comes around and usually runs some kind of a counter move from the left side going back to the right side.
Well, 3rd down and 3 now for Eastbrook. Inside handoff. And Gunter, who was hit right at the line of scrimmage, somehow fought his way forward. And he may have picked up the first down where it looked like he was going to go nowhere.
Hayden Trent, big left tackle for Mississinewa, 6'5", 300-pound sophomore. Gets the tackle, he hits him at the line of scrimmage, but he carries him some 4 yards and gets that first down.
Well, how big was that first down right there to keep this drive alive?
It really was.
1st and 10. Here's Watson.
Watson on the carry.
He bounced off one tackler, picks up a couple yards. Maybe even a gain of about 3 yards here. And it'll be 2nd down and 7.
Here's the replay, and you see Watson coming across, but you see the outside backers coming up, and there's your corner coming up, getting the tackle for just a 3-yard gain.
Gunter stays in at that tailback spot. There's Wallace in the motion to the left. Gunter with the handoff. And this time he's going to be shoved back after he picked up about a yard.
Really impressed on defense, Mississinewa with his Jordan Arms. Yeah. Again, that's he's been in on the last 3 tackles from that linebacker spot that he's occupying on the left side.
Got a good shot there of the head coach of the Mississinewa Indians, Kurt Funk. Well, 3rd down, another 3rd down. This time for Eastbrook. It's 3rd and 6, though, and it's Eastbrook. Thought for a moment there they might be calling a timeout, but instead Bennett's just getting a signal. Bennett keeps it, spins off one tackler, but he's going to be stopped well short of the first down as he picked up maybe 2 yards, and it'll be now 4th down and 4.
That brings up 4th down.
Big play coming up for Eastbrook to see if they can keep this track meet going. Mississinewa 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns. Eastbrook now 4th down, and quarterback looks like he's hurting a little bit.
He's taking a shot or 2. 4th and 4. The Mississinewa Crowd here on their feet trying to encourage their defense. Luke Elliott back in the backfield now. Here's a pass. Bennett throws towards the end zone. It was caught, but out of bounds. Incomplete. Wait a minute. They're going to talk about it.
They're talking about it. They're going to give him a catch.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, it'd be interesting on a replay here.
That pass was caught. We're going to get it.
Well, we're going to get to see it right on the numbers, I think, right here. He throws the pass right.
Now he may have 1 foot is all that's needed.
I know it. It's I just don't know if he has possession.
We'll take
right here, and
that right
wow,
foot.
That is so close. That is so close. I can't say it's a bad call or a good call, either one, because it's right there. It is right there. They pick up the first down right there at the 2-yard line. Here's the
back to live action. I think on that carry that time was Luke Elliott. You know, I did not think watching the play live that was a completed pass. On the replay, and it's not conclusive, I think it was a good call. I think he made a great catch.
We can't say it was a bad call
no.
because even going back and forth like we did, it's looks like it could have been a really close call there.
Well, it set up a 1st and goal for Eastbrook. Short gain on on 1st down. Now the handoff. Left side. Shy of the goal line.
And that time it was Zach Martin coming from the right side.
And Martin on the carry that time.
I don't think he got much at all.
Anyway, Eastbrook throws all sorts of backs out there, don't they?
Yes, they do.
3rd and goal from the 1. Martin takes the handoff, goes into the end zone, touchdown. Well, the Eastbrook Panthers, Ron, they respond once again to Mississinewa, get the touchdown. And the biggest play of the drive, other than this touchdown we just see here, though, was the 4th and 4 conversion where Bennett completed the pass. And I'll be honest, I still don't know exactly who caught the pass. It might have been Braden Deshawn, but
well, what a catch it was.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, he had his eyes. He did everything that you see a pro do on Sunday or Sunday afternoon, and the official rewarded him for that catch. And as we saw, running it back and forth, we can't say that it wasn't a catch because it was right there on the line, and he made a judgment call, and I think probably a good call.
Well, one of the Mississinewa Indian defenders is still down on the field, so we're going to have to wait for the extra point. And tell you what, it gets a little harried sometimes inside those trenches, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. You've got big guys, and they're doing a good job. Eastbrook really kind of undermanned as far as the weight goes and as far as the size goes, but they're moving the defenders back. They didn't quit on it, and anyhow, so we see a big pickup, and we're going to look back on it and see could this have been the play of the game? Does Eastbrook go ahead and win it by a touchdown, or does Eastbrook? If Eastbrook win, it definitely could be considered maybe a play of the game.
Hey, we're going to send it right down to the field here for just a minute and check in with Katrina Blackman. Yeah, we'll get back with Katrina in just a minute when we get our microphone fixed there. But going back to that last drive from Eastbrook there, on obviously the 4th down conversion was huge, but they had 2 3rd down conversions that were big. Hey, let's check in really quick with Katrina Blackman one more time.
We have a couple key players for Mississinewa. Number 13, he's a freshman, McCoyne. He's the quarterback. He's already had a touchdown tonight, 25 Daly. He's also already scored. And number 26, Markley. Those two are the real deal, and they're also the players that Eastbrook earlier stated that they wanted to slow down tonight. We also have number 70, Bowen, and 75, Trent. They're both being recruited by D1 schools right now. Back to you, Roger, in the press box.
Thank you so much, Katrina. Extra point is good. We're tied up at 14 apiece, 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go here in just the second quarter of action. And, Coach Katrina just said one of the keys of the game, talking to Coach Jeff Addison before the ball game, was trying to stop Daly. They haven't been able to do that yet.
You know, Daly runs as hard as any back. And I'm not just saying at a 3A level or a 2A level. I'm talking about any level. He runs over people.
Yeah.
Now, I know Coach Adamson's kids lift, and they lift hard, so they're strong kids, and he's just mowing them down and he's not running low. He's running straight up and taking people with him. I think that shows his true power. But on the other hand, now Eastbrook has gone to a completely different game. They're beating you with numbers. They have 4 backs that run the ball. And by the way, when Elliott went down, they bring in Gunter, and he becomes the 5th back to run the ball. And they are just they're beating you with short plays and numbers, where Mississinewa actually runs the ball quite well with Daly and company.
We don't have enough lines on our stat sheet for 6 and 7 tailbacks here now.
No, we don't.
Here's a little bit of a pooch kick, and the up man does a good job of just making the catch and then taking it to a knee, and Mississinewa will start this drive with spectacular field position. They'll have it at the 44-yard line.
I think that's Jeff Adamson rolling the dice, trying an onside kick there. And here we see it. It's just a little, as you said, a pooch. It's not the guy that you see, but it's too good of a pooch kick.
Yeah.
And the guy gets it, and they're going to have great field position right there at the 44. And here comes Daly and company again to run their power game.
At that time, actually, Luke Elliott was the one that kicked the football, and I'm wondering if he was trying to get it over the head of that line of
probably.
Just didn't get it quite far enough. Here's the pitch. Daly working the left side. Gets the corner. Oh, and he slips as he tries to turn it upfield.
And you know, you don't look very often, but here's the fullback, Corey Markley out there, and I don't know if we're going to see here's the replay. Watch Corey Markley, the fullback, number 26 out here, lock in and get a block, and then he gets another block, but Daly falls down. Nice 7-yard pickup for Daly.
7 yards on the play.
Second and 3 now. Under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Mississinewa, I think, would love to just possess the football here and run some clock here as they march down the field, get a score, and go into the locker room with a lead at the half.
Good stop that time.
Gunter on the tackle.
Gunter with the tackle after a short gainer there, and so it will be 3rd down, and we'll call it 3rd and 2 after that pickup of a yard.
Unofficially, we have Daly at 130 yards, and then we're still in the first half.
Averages about 165 yards a game, and he's running against a
pretty good team.
Yeah, absolutely. 3rd down and 2. McCoy, handoff, this time to Markley. He was hit in the backfield by Elliott, but was able to fight his way forward, and it looks like he has the first down.
Elliott on the tackle for Eastbrook.
Markley that time came from his linebacker spot, and he really took his legs. But first down, here we see him going, and Markley takes his leg, but he had enough forward motion to pick up the first down right there at the 45-yard line of Eastbrook.
1st and 10, another first down for Mississinewa. 3 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Pitch right side to Daly. Turns it upfield. Gets it inside the 40, inside the 35. Well, actually, it's going to be marked down right at the 35. So it will be a gain of exactly 10 yards and another Mississinewa first down.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get the replay here. That really is textbook Mississinewa pitch. And what they do is they bring the outside, or bring the flanker down in for an inside block and then lead out with the fullback. And they've done that with Daly maybe 10 or 11 times in this first half.
McCoy. As Mill in motion. Inside half.
Inside handoff to Corey Markley.
A handoff to Markley. Gets 2 tough yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
Markley really, here's this little inside play with Markley. Little trap, I believe, with the guy pulling across. There's number 70 coming across, and kicking out the down tackle, and Markley running right off his tail.
Ron, I don't know, has Mississinewa, I don't have them even attempting a pass yet here in the first half.
No, they haven't. We've just seen 2 passes in this game, both complete by Eastbrook.
Daly, pitch to the left side. As a blocker out there. It's knocked out of bounds.
He's forced out of bounds.
After a gain of about 6 yards. As they get it.
On this replay, this is their textbook play. They toss it out to Daly. Here we get Markley out here hitting the man, driving him back, and picking up 8 yards is Daly to run his total up to 148 yards in this game. He's almost got his average in the first half.
Yeah, remarkable. 3rd down and 2 now. Daly, left side, gets it off tackle, has the first down. He's still on his feet as he plows his way down to the 15-yard line.
How strong a man is that young man? He just mows people down as he got hit 3 times and finally was taken down after, I believe, a 13-yard pickup. Here's the instant replay, and we're going to see him mow down people right here. He runs into people through 3 guys. He keeps going. They keep blocking, and this young man will not be stopped tonight.
First down. Hand off inside to Markley. Makes a nice move to pick up about 4 yards where it looked like he was maybe going to be stopped after only a gain of 1.
You may be looking at Daly, but this young fullback, Markley, has blocked so well for Daly, and he gets the hard yard. He's carried 6 times for 17 yards, but his blocking is truly the key in this ball game.
Miller comes in motion towards the formation.
Oh,
that time Daly just slipped. That's the second time he slipped on this grass field, which we were on before the game. It's in great condition.
It's in great condition. I think they're going to give him no gain.
Daly on his unofficially 17th or 18th carry of this first half.
18th carry, he has 162 yards, just 3 short of his average per game, and we still have a half to go. They're letting this clock run down. We're inside a minute, Roger.
It'll be 3rd down and 6. And now, after letting some clock run, Mississinewa is going to use their 2nd timeout of the first half. I'm not sure. A little bit of confusion that time in what's been a very efficient first half of football.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they forgot about the clock or not, but the clock ran from a 1:10 mark down to 43 before they actually got the timeout and did not get a play during that time.
Well, don't go away. Stay tuned for a halftime show here on WIWU. Let's check in with Katrina Blackman on the sidelines.
Right now we have number 76. He looks like he's out so far with a knee injury. He's limping right now, trying to walk it off. Not quite sure if he will be returning, at least not for the rest of the half. He has on a knee brace right now. It looks like he's trying to tough it out.
Kadeem Barfield, who was injured on the touchdown earlier from Eastbrook.
You know, Roger, I was part of the Marion coaching staff for over 40 years, and I don't think I've ever seen football pants quite like Mississinewa's. Somebody had to say it tonight. I mean, it's very obvious that those look like pajamas, but you know what? They don't run like they're in pajamas, do they?
We are fairly convinced that neither Charlie Fisher nor Mark Surface would approve.
No, I think they both would have.
3rd down and 6. The ball is resting on the 11-yard line. McCoyne hands off to Daly. Bounces off one tackler. Drags another towards that first down marker.
Clock running.
As we're down to 32 seconds now. But it'll be 4th down and 3 yards to go for the first down. See the replay there. And here is the last timeout taken by Mississinewa.
And you saw him, and I'm talking about Daly that time, carry the tackler from the line of scrimmage about 7 yards into Eastbrook territory. How strong is that young man?
He's got that combination now, the strength to run inside, but we've seen, they'll pitch it to him because he's got the speed to take it outside as well.
Their bread and butter play is that toss, but when they have to, he'll go off tackle on the lead with the fullback. And like I said, Markley does such a good job blocking for him at that fullback position. If I know Daly would tell you Markley should get half of my yards because he's the man that's getting me the extra yards.
Well, with a 4th down and 3, the Indians can get a first down here. They're 8 yards from the end zone. As you said, they haven't thrown the football yet today, but of course Daly's getting about 8 yards a pop. So do you maybe try to pull a play action or something you haven't seen so far? Or just say, hey, let's get it to Daly and get him to let's.
Right now, I think you throw the ball just because you've got 22 seconds left. They haven't thrown the ball yet. If they give it to Daly, then they probably want to get him out of bounds.
The backs are split this time. McCoyne drops back. He's going to throw it towards Miller. End zone. He slipped and fell, and the pass is incomplete. He was going to be open.
He was wide open. He just fell. I think maybe we'll see something here. Here comes the replay.
McCoyne put the ball in a good spot.
Guys down in the truck are doing a nice job on that replay. He just didn't get there. It looked like he was wide open. He just didn't get there. And a stop that time for Eastbrook.
What a big play. We hadn't mentioned anything about turnovers, how that could be a huge factor in a game like this. That's not a turnover, but it's a big stop.
It's a big stop.
It's the first time either one of these offenses has not scored.
Looks like Eastbrook's going to do the victory deal where they just want to kill that 18 seconds and get the ball in the second half.
They're going to get the kickoff, indeed, in the second half, and so that will be the final play of the first half. Really an outstanding half of football here in WIWU as the Eastbrook Panthers and the Mississinewa Indians will go into the locker room tied up at 14 apiece. I tell you what, you can't talk about the first half, though, without talking about Mr. Daly. He had a whale of a first half, and Eastbrook's going to have to find a way to maybe slow him down in the second half, or they're going to get worn out.
Well, understand, we don't keep official stats, but unofficially I have him 19 carries, 169 yards.
Yeah.
And that is more than what he averages per game. In 100, there isn't 10% of the backs in the state that average over 100 yards.
Exactly.
So the fact that he averaged 165 and then he gets more than that in the first half says this young man is having a great game, and his blocker in front of him, his fullback, is having a great game, and his line is having a great game. But give Eastbrook some kudos because they stepped up when it looked like Mississinewa was going to take the lead at halftime and stopped them cold right down there inside the 10-yard line.
Eastbrook defense gets the stop on the fourth down situation on the other side of the field, and when they had the football, they come up with a huge fourth down conversion that leads to a touchdown. So those two fourth down plays have been huge in this half.
Both in favor of Eastbrook.
Yeah. Well, that is the story of the first half. We're going to take a break for our halftime show, but don't go away. We'll be back with a lot more here on WIWU TV and the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week.
Welcome to the Wildcat Week Halftime Show. I'm your host, Kyle Johnson. Let's take a break from the high school gridiron and get you caught up to speed on some IWU sports. The men's soccer team is off to a red-hot start, sitting at 6-1 and ranked 15th in the first NAIA national rankings. The men host Grace tomorrow evening and will welcome Marian University October 4th for homecoming. The Wildcats are taking it one game at a time, but are also looking forward to playing in front of the homecoming crowd. Zach Allen takes us inside the men's mindset for the next week.
The Wildcats practice another day for the start of their Crossroad League matches. The team is currently 6-1, and with homecoming just around the corner, they want to make sure they grab the win in front of the Wildcat fans. Freshman Derek Williams is ready to play in front of the homecoming crowd.
I'm pretty excited going into it. I got most of my jitters out the first couple weeks of preseason, so I'm just really excited to get out there, play in front of everybody, show them what I got as a freshman, and then just really play for the team, and hopefully we can have some success against that.
Every player has been working hard to perform their best at every game. Head coach Mark Castro likes the environment that the week of homecoming creates.
It's going to be a tough, challenging week and day because of all the festivities that homecoming entails. It culminates with the men's soccer game on Saturday, and for us to be able to be on that stage is a tremendous opportunity and honor that we have.
Each player looks to improve each week and at every game, both in their individual skills and team coordination as well. Senior captain Dalen Bronkema sees the improvement of his own teammates throughout the season.
Some of the young guys coming in here trying to figure out what their role is on the team and where they can influence and help us out. And they've really settled in and been a huge part of our success. And also you see some experienced guys stepping up and taking on bigger roles from last year and been really successful with that as well.
The team has come closer as a unit and looks to take the win against their crossroad opponents on homecoming. For Wildcat Week, I'm Zach Allen.
The game tomorrow is scheduled for 7 p.m. The Wildcats then head to Bethel on Wednesday, and homecoming will be against Marion next Saturday. The Wildcats took the volleyball court at Goshen on Saturday. Remy Buckner continued her stellar play, and the Wildcats defeated the Maple Leafs 3-1 after dropping the opening game. The Lady Wildcats travel to Indianapolis tonight to face off against Marion. Both men's and women's tennis teams were victorious this week as well. Both Wildcat squads beat St. Francis. The men won 8-1 and the women won 9-0. The Crossroads League tournament starts next week for both tennis teams. And next Friday night, WIWU Sports will travel to Oak Hill, where the Golden Eagles will take on the Panthers of Eastbrook. Both teams sit atop the conference rankings. Oak Hill is undefeated in conference play, while Eastbrook has only dropped one conference game so far. Last year, Eastbrook dominated Oak Hill, winning 49-7. The Golden Eagles are looking for some revenge as they host the Panthers. That's next Friday night, the high school football game of the week. And that'll do it for this edition of Wildcat Week Halftime. If you ever want more information about WIWU and all Wildcat sports, you can visit www.wiwutv.com. That's wiwutv.com. And that's all we have for this Wildcat Week Halftime. Let's get back to the second half of Mississinewa versus Eastbrook. I'm Kyle Johnson, and you've been watching Wildcat Week Halftime.
Grant County's hometown station. This is WIWU TV 51, Marion.
Back here in Gas City, Indiana, Fisher Field in Mississinewa High School. It's the Indians and the Eastbrook Panthers on the WIWU Grant County High School football game of the week. We're at the half of really an outstanding football game here. The Eastbrook Panthers and the Mississinewa Indians all tied up at 14 apiece. And there you see the unofficial first half stats. Ron Vermillion, no passing yards for Mississinewa. They only attempted the one pass. Eastbrook, 29 yards passing. Look at the disparity in rushing yards. I think a little bit deceiving in that Eastbrook has run the ball fairly effectively, but 186 to 89 yards. It's
both times, though, that they got the ball, they were 60-yard drives.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that they didn't run the ball. It's that they did run the ball. Mm-hmm. They only got it twice. Eastbrook got it, Mississinewa got it 3 times. So you take and you add another third to theirs, and they're right with Mississinewa. So I think it's just the fact that they got it a third time where I think we're dead even in stats, if you want to know the truth, because Eastbrook gets the ball coming out now.
And that one more possession makes the difference.
And they have, but we don't keep track of time of possession, but Eastbrook has dominated time of possession.
This kind of shows how it's been a clean ball game. 9 first downs apiece, no fumbles, no interceptions, obviously no turnovers. Only the 1 sack. So a very clean football game, a well officiated first half.
Yeah, it was, and the officiating is good. I mean, we were really amazed at the call down there on that pass, that they really probably made a good call.
Well, some highlights of the first half, and that shows the speed of Blake Daly. Exciting 53-yard touchdown that got Mississinewa on the board first. Eastbrook, though, able to respond, and that was a big play there by Tyler Bennett to keep a drive alive. We're talking about all sorts of big backs who've had big first halves. Not a bad line for Martin. Zach Martin, 3 carries, 5 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's very efficient. But Mississinewa in the second quarter was able to come back, take the lead on that touchdown. Here was the big play of the first half, that 4th down pass completion that kept a drive alive, and then Zach Martin goes in the end zone for the other touchdown. And we talked about it at the close of the first half, the 4th down conversion that Eastbrook is able to get, keeps the drive alive. They get a touchdown. The 4th down pass that fell incomplete from Mississinewa that could have been a touchdown. We'll see it come up in just a moment here.
You have about 5 plays during the game that turn the game, and certainly the pass, catch, and then the 4th down play that Eastbrook made on the stop down in the red zone was a key for Eastbrook being tied in this ball game.
Well, we're underway here in the second half as the kickoff comes down to Wallace at the 15. Across the 20, out to the 25, the 26-yard line. And so Eastbrook will have it 1st and 10 there. And Ron, now the Panthers have an opportunity, the first opportunity they have to maybe go down, put a score on the board, and take a lead here and see how Mississinewa can respond to that.
Yeah, does Mississinewa change how they play the game if they get behind? I don't know. But right now you've got 2 big teams that are going after each other, and right now it's a draw.
Of course, we said this is a huge CIC matchup. The winner of this contest stays alive in the hunt for a conference championship. The loser really behind the 8 ball with what would be 2 losses.
That was Elliott on the carry.
I wasn't quite sure.
Elliott got the carry, got 2 yards. That's his 6th carry for about 17 yards.
It'll be 2nd down. Elliott gets the handoff one more time. Actually, no, Bennett kept it, and this time he's going to be sacked. He'll lose about 3 yards, now about 5 yards, and he'll send it back to the 25-yard line. Oh, the 2nd sack of Tyler Bennett.
Yeah, and that was Corey Markley that time getting the sack, a 4-yard loss for Bennett and Eastbrook team.
Well, 3rd and 12 now. Bennett's going to look to throw. He's under pressure, rolls to his left. He's on the run. He's got some running room. 35-40. First down for Eastbrook. And that's what the feet and speed of Tyler Bennett can do to keep a drive alive on that 3rd and long. He picks up the first down.
Remember, these 2 quarterbacks are cousins, and this is a family shootout. And that time, Bennett got the pickup, a big first down pickup.
Well, Eastbrook will have it 1st down and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Big pickup there from Tyler Bennett. Wow. Inside handoff. Not much running there for Luke Elliott at all. He doesn't want to go down, though. And finally, we hear a whistle. And all of that for a gain of a yard. So it will be 2nd down and 9.
Jordan Arms on the tackle, and this young man has led this Mississinewa defense. He's all over the field getting tackle after tackle.
2nd down and 8 after a pickup of 2 yards. Bennett gave it to the second man through Watson, who takes a pretty good pop and is able to fall forward for a gain of 2 yards. It will be third down and 6 now, though.
Gain of a couple yards, be 3rd and 6.
Watson his 6th carry of the ball game.
And second back through, they run Watson. They run Elliott coming up through the middle.
Oh, there's a fumble. The ball's loose, and Mississinewa has it at the Eastbrook 45, the first turnover of the ball game, and it gives the Indians outstanding field position.
What a momentum change this is.
A little mix up on the handoff there.
That ball just went forward. Not a good handoff exchange between the quarterback and the running back. The ball went forward, and Mississinewa picks it up. Didn't get to see who got the ball, but the defense was there, and a big turnover for a recovery for Mississinewa Indians as they get the first series of the offense.
We talked in the first half how a turnover could be big in this ball game, and that was indeed the first turnover of this football game, and that's really the first break that's gone against Eastbrook. Mississinewa has their first possession of the second half, and Daly this time has nowhere to go, and in fact, he may lose a yard. Now he's going to lose 2 yards at that spot.
Wow. I saw Luke Elliott come up from his linebacker spot, and he just clocked Bennett. Bennett, that's his 20th carry of the game. First time that he's been stopped short of the line of scrimmage.
Well, after that loss of 2, it'll be a 2nd down and 12 for Mississinewa. A fake pitch under pressure now. McCoy has to throw it to the right side, and it is knocked away, incomplete.
He looked like a freshman on that play. He just threw it up, and fortunately for Mississinewa, the ball was thrown out of bounds, and nobody could go after it.
Well, they've run that pitch sweep to the right and to the left side effectively, and I think they thought they might catch Eastbrook sleeping. They surely didn't that time.
We're going to see the instant replay. I think we're going to see a linebacker come and nobody pick him up.
Yeah, McCoy took a pretty good shot there.
He did. Just a freshman, 160-pound freshman, but he's been running this Mississinewa team very well.
McCoy now back in the shotgun. I think this is the first time we've seen him back in the shotgun formation. Takes the snap and rolls to his left. Throws on the run, incomplete, and his intended receiver, Ian Miller, I think that timing pass was either a little too quick or Miller ran a little bit of a different route.
On the replay here, we see McCauley come out and get a real nice block, but his throw was short of the intended receiver.
Well, we're going to have our first punt of this football game.
Wow, nice punt.
Kick. Drives his man Watson back inside. The 10 takes it to 5, and he's down at the 7-yard line.
Well, that's deep in your own territory, and they had it well covered. Seth McMullen was right there. If he doesn't slip, he's going to get hit anyhow.
And you wonder, with Watson having to go back to the 5 to make the catch, should he let it go, or does he make it? That's a tough call.
It is a tough call, but the rule of thumb is if the ball gets to the 5-yard line, you let it go. And he caught it inside the 5. So that's kind of a mental mistake maybe. But Eastbrook hasn't been stopped but just the one time, and that was a fumble. And they're coming out for their second possession of the second half.
Well, in the second half, we've had our first fumble of the ball game on Eastbrook's first possession, our first punt on Mississinewa. So this game's starting to settle down a little bit maybe. That handoff off the left side, nowhere to run that time. And I believe that was Watson with the carry.
And Jordan Arms right there. He has had a huge game.
Excuse me, that was Brendan Wallace with the carry that time.
1 yard.
2nd and 9. A little bit, a few more yards on that power play in the middle. Zach Martin with the carry that time. Actually, Alex Gunter, number 32 is Alex Gunter. You mentioned Eastbrook will run 5 different backs at you.
They do.
And so they move quickly up the line. It'll be a 3rd down and 5. Watson in motion. He'll stop and walk back.
What they did, he's just changed the play.
Here's a pass. Plenty of time. Throw it to the right, and it's dropped along the right sideline by Brandon Wallace. I thought it was going to be picked off for just a second there.
Incomplete pass. We've seen Tyler Bennett be the better of the 2 cousins. He's completed 2 passes, 2 big passes that made the series in the first half actually going down and get touchdown. But second half, he's thrown 2 incompletions.
A 3 and out for Eastbrook. So after a first half where we saw both teams just drive methodically up and down the field, a much different story here to start the first few minutes of this second half.
Oh,
Elliott gets that kick away. It takes a Mississinewa bounce at the 47 back to the 45, and it will be down at the 44-yard line. Check in with Katrina Blackman on the sidelines.
Thanks, Roger. Mississinewa's halftime talk consisted of playing tough, playing with passion, and leaving it all on the field without any regrets. They're not really making any adjustments right now, planning on keeping the ball in Daly's hands. Back to you, Roger.
That's a pretty good plan to get the ball to Daly.
well, that's been their plan all year, so it really hasn't changed anything. And Daly, though, has been hit. We've seen him actually act like he's human.
That time he goes over left tackle, gets a gain of about 6 yards. Set up a 2nd and 4.
And
actually, let's call it a gain of 5 and 2nd and 5.
164 yards now. He's got his average. Now, he hasn't seen the ball much this second half.
That time goes off the right side. Picks up 3, maybe 4 more yards. We'll wait for the spot. And I don't know, Coach, if Eastbrook has made an adjustment, if they're moving their linebackers up, if they put some more guys on the line of scrimmage, but they're definitely
linebackers have been a real key this second half. We've talked about Wallace. We've also talked about Elliott getting in on the tackles right at the line of scrimmage or even behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 2 now. The ball at the 36. Daly has first down yardage and more as he puts his shoulder into the tackler and gets it down to the 30-yard line, a gain of 6.
You know, Roger, who would you give it to when you had a 3rd and 2? He's only carried the ball 23 times, and he now has 174 yards.
And as this game progresses, you know, if they can continue to run the football like that, you had got to think maybe they're going to wear down this Eastbrook defense at some point.
Yeah, to me it seems like Eastbrook's gotten stronger.
Yeah.
I really think they've gotten stronger. The linebackers have picked up their play. I think what I see is the line pinching down and really protecting those linebackers. And linebackers are getting about every tackle now for Eastbrook.
Well, no gain on that first down play for Daly. And so it will be a 2nd down and 10. Of course, Mississinewa had some really good success in the first half, pitching it to
the toss.
Well, both the wide and the short side. In motion towards the formation, Nick Turner. Daly gets the hand up, tries to bounce it outside.
He really put a shoulder into the tackler.
And his good stiff arm gets him a gain of 7 yards. And he'll set down now a 3rd and 3.
And we have the replay coming here by the down at the truck. And what we see is Daly coming wide. You know, I think he might be getting a little bit tired. That is his 24th carry of the game.
Yes.
And he's not picking up the big yards he picked up earlier.
3rd and 2. Daly over left tackle. Gets just enough for the first down as he gets it inside the 20 down to the 18.
So I'm telling you, when you carry the ball more than 20 times in a game, I had some good backs when I was coaching at Marion, and Richie Thompson, and just a lot of very good backs. We try to limit their carries to around 20 because Blake Daly right now, he's at 26 carries. You really
And there's only 4 minutes, or there's still 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. There's a lot of football.
He's had a lot of carries, and he's going to maybe get up to 40. Whoops.
A near fumble. There's McCoyne. Bobbled the football, somehow got it back.
And they're going to give him, I think, a yard carry on that.
Boy, how dangerous was this?
So I think right now one of the things we've got to look at as we see him bobble the ball, and he
Luke Elliott with the body slam there.
Yep. Is Daly still strong enough to be the dominant player that he was the first 2 quarters?
Second down and 9. Mississinewa is very fortunate. What could have been a turnover ends up being a gain of a yard. McCoyne to Daly. Big hole up the middle inside the 10. Down near the 5-yard line, but there's a flag on the play, and this one could be coming back.
And that's probably why he had that opening, is because generally it's somebody takes a lineman or a linebacker down on a hold. Let's see if we can see the hold here. It's probably right there. They look like the left guard.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh. It's going to be called a chop block, whistled against the Eastbrook defense.
Wow. So they're probably going to take the run.
Talking it over with the officials. Head coach Kurt Funk. Yeah, illegal block below the waist.
Our microphones down there picked that up from the official, and he's telling you, this is not a legal block. And right back. It's hard for us to see it, but they saw it down inside, and a big pickup then as he picks up some, looks like 13 yards. I think he answered my question.
First and goal from the 5-yard line. McCoyne to Daly. Tries to cut to the outside. He's hemmed in there, breaks one tackle. Still on his feet, and now he's going to be knocked back.
Maybe get a...
Well, it's starting to get a little heated out here.
It is.
Well, you played 2 and threw the whistle, and
then I thought they were a little late on the whistle that time. Here we see Blake Daly running, and he's going to take the ball off to his left.
And now Daly is going to have to come out for a play because his helmet came off.
And he's got 5 guys on him. He won't go down. He will not go down. And Coach Funk wanting a flag for taking his man down after the whistle, but he doesn't get it.
Well, after all of that, there's no gain on the play. So we'll be second down and 5. So now Markley goes into the tailback position, and in for fullback position is Anthony Standridge. And into the end zone for the touchdown is Corey Markley, and the Mississinewa Indians take back the lead 20-14.
What a nice play that was, and it's that isolation play where the fullback hits the linebacker and takes him out. We've seen that maybe 7 or 8 times this game. They've gotten big yards off of it. This time Markley was the recipient of it because Daly was out of the game.
In for the extra point. Josh Walton, and this one is blocked, and so
that's
break
key
for Eastbrook.
Yeah, that's a key. That's a key because it puts things on an odd moment now. If Mississinewa scores again, they're going to have to go for 2, it looks like.
Take a look at the replay here one more time.
Oh,
and Standridge, who just came into the ball game, Got a really fine block in there.
Oh, that fullback Standard, he just knocked that linebacker straight back into the end zone. No wonder that it was such an easy touchdown then for Markley. What a great block on the ISO that was.
Well, we'll kind of mark that down at 2 minutes and 11 seconds, though, of the third quarter. This mixed extra point, or the block of the extra point.
And it really never got
Yeah, it was
up.
just a low kick that never got off the ground hardly. Well, 2 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Mississinewa has regained the lead. They take advantage of that Eastbrook turnover. Excuse me, that really the change of field position when they had the good punt. They stopped Eastbrook, and Eastbrook doesn't get a good punt off, and good field position. Yeah. There's a whistle on the kickoff.
I don't know what, I don't see a flag thrown. Maybe they didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know that the play had even been blown live yet. So we're going to try this one more time. Joshua Walton, 5'9", 145-pound junior. He's going to tee it up one more time. See if you're a kicker, you can get away with wearing the yellow shoes.
Yeah, well, you can.
Say, Coach, I need these to kick with.
Well, you know what? He's just not very big. He's a small football player, but he sure puts his foot into it, and that's why they've got him for that kicking game.
So we're ready to go one more time here. Wait for the official. I don't know that I've ever seen a team kind of do that rocking motion.
Rocking and rolling. Signature, I guess.
Must be the pants.
That's a good one, Roger.
Low line drive. Oh, and it's bobbled at the 15-yard line. Oh, there's a flag on that play, and running the wrong way. Is that Brandon Wallace with the carry?
Yeah.
Actually, take that back. That was Zach Martin, number 24 for Eastbrook, but there was a clip on the play, or a block in the back.
Brad Pavey right here. Brad Pavey right here gets a clip. You know what? That's not as bad as that looks. Because he might have gotten his shoulder through. But he got hit pretty good. He didn't see it coming. That's going to cost him then probably half the distance.
I do think, though, Coach, you always put your blockers in a bad position on a kickoff or punt return when you start running laterally instead of up and down the field.
Yeah, not only was that lateral, it was backwards a little bit too. So he lost some yardage, and then they got half the distance. So they're back there in their own territory right at the 8-yard line, or 7-yard line.
Well, Eastbrook will have it 1st and 10 from their own 7-yard line. And this third quarter has been played really on the Eastbrook half of this football field.
It's been Mississinewa's quarter. Now, we've still got about 2 minutes left, Roger, but it's been Mississinewa's quarter, and they are the only ones that have scored in this second half.
Well, as you mentioned in the first half, as we take a look at that carry, Eastbrook was putting together 60-yard drives. That's a different story than trying to put together a 93-yard drive.
Right.
Bennett hands it off inside. A nice pickup there on the 2nd down and 5 play. It's very close to a first down. It's just going to be about a yard shy.
Good for a Panther first down.
It's 30 yards rushing now for Gunter, who's come in and taken over that fullback spot.
Actually, that was a first down play. And so Eastbrook will have it 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. Gunter stays in at that fullback position, gets the handoff. It just bulls his way forward and picks up about 4 yards. Yeah, maybe 5.
It's just straight ahead power play where he's they're trying to stop him, and a 5-yard pickup for Gunter.
Gain of about 5 yards. Brings up second down.
Under a minute here in the third quarter. Clock winding down, under 30 seconds. Gunter bounces off one tackler, tries to drag another, as he'll pick up
Gunter on the carry once again.
about 4 yards, and it will set up a third down and 1.
Watching the line play right now, they're not moving Mississinewa's interior 5 defensively off the ball like I've normally seen Eastbrook's offense do. It's pretty much a stalemate right there at the line of scrimmage.
Big third down play here if we get it off. Bennett under center, and you know what? There was about 1.3 seconds on the clock, and Eastbrook is going to be marched back 5 yards. And I'm not sure if they were trying to hurry to get that play off or not.
I think it might be against Mississinewa because Daly's over there on the left side. Looks like he's blitzing coming in hard, and he jumped offside. So a mistake for the defense of Mississinewa.
Well, what was going to be a big third down conversion, and you see Daly there, number 25. Of course, he's had an outstanding first half on the offensive side. Well, that is going to be the end of the third quarter as time has expired. One more to play here. Mississinewa is on top, 20-14, in a third quarter that really was, I don't want to say all Mississinewa, but it was mostly Mississinewa that third quarter. And how big is really field position in that third quarter, Ron?
Well, field position for Mississinewa, and remember they got stopped down there too. They could have had a second touchdown.
Yep.
I guess what I'm saying is the size of Mississinewa seems to be beating down Eastbrook's smaller guys, but I like the passing game that the quarterback for Mississinewa for Eastbrook has. I think Bennett is the better thrower of the two. So don't be surprised if Eastbrook starts throwing the ball just a little more. They're down 6 points. They need to get a touchdown early in this fourth quarter.
Our next game, of course, next week will be Oak Hill versus Eastbrook. Our first broadcast from over in Mere on the west side of the county. The Golden Eagles, and depending on what Oak Hill did tonight against Elwood, they were winning at the half. They could be undefeated and at least in a share for the lead of the CIC race here.
Coach Bud Osmond over there has another winner, and he's been there a while. We talked about before the game, Grant County has 4 very good coaches, and all of them are winning coaches.
Well, Eastbrook coming back the other way now. 1st and 10, that handoff along the right side will net a couple of yards that time on the carry. Is Alex Gunter.
Gunter on the carry.
Picked up 3. Make it a 2nd and 7.
Remember, Eastbrook's idea of winning this ball game is to chew up the clock and keep the offense of Mississinewa off the field.
Watson in motion right. Inside handoff. Gunter gets it near the first down marker as he gets it almost to the 40-yard line. Just shy, but it'll be 3rd down and a long yard to go for the first. And Eastbrook picking up maybe the pace a little bit here in this drive, getting to the line of scrimmage. Gunter fights his way forward, and looks like he does indeed have the...
You know, they're not stopping him. You get 3 or 4 yards every carry, you're going to get first downs, and Gunter with a first down carry right there for 3 yards.
Well, Gunter's been kind of the, what do they call it, the bell cow here for Eastbrook here in the second half.
He's just putting those shoulders down and driving them back.
First down for the Panthers. Inside handoff. Pickup of maybe 6 yards that time as Eastbrook now is getting it out towards midfield.
Looked like Watson on a little counter coming back. Well, maybe not. Yeah, Watson.
It's hard to see those.
Yeah.
You have all those backs and pulling the offensive linemen. Sometimes get a little lost up here.
But on that instant replay, it shows him coming from that left position and just in a counter move coming back across, picking up 5 yards.
On second down, inside handoff. a gain of about 3 yards. It'll make it a 3rd and 2. Gunter back with the carry that time. We see a split out here now going to the other side of the formation. Braden Deshawn, number 88. Boy, how big was that catch he had in the first half?
Big.
Oh, near fumble. And Tyler Bennett will have to fall on it. And so instead of 3rd and 2, Eastbrook is now looking at a 4th and 4. And Ron, I think they probably have to kick it away here, don't they?
No, I think he feels like he's got good field position here. If I'm Jeff Adamson, I'm saying this might be the game for us. Let's go ahead and do it.
No hesitation here. Maybe a hard count, see if they can't get Mississinewa to jump.
That definitely could be. That definitely could be, but they're in their hurry-up offense, so I don't know that they've had a chance to go call that hard count.
Deshaun spit to the left. Inside handoff. Watson's hit, and he's going to be short. He picked up maybe a yard, but no more. On that counter play, and the Mississinewa defense holds, and they'll take over possession of the football right at midfield.
Good crowd on both sides, but we're setting up in the press box on the Mississinewa side. They are letting their team know that they appreciated that good defensive stand. Now Mississinewa taking over the ball right at the 50-yard line. Here he's coming across on that counter move. We saw him, and right there, it didn't fool anybody.
Well, so Mississinewa will have it. 1st and 10, right at midfield. And as efficient as the Eastbrook offense was in the first half, they struggled here in the second half. They fumbled it. They punted the football. Now they turn it over on downs. Daly right side, breaks one tackle, breaks another. Inside the 40, inside the 35, and finally hauled down. But not until he gets down to the Eastbrook 28-yard line.
Puts him over 200 yards now for the game as he picks up. And let's see where they spot it. Right at the 28. We'll give him 22 yards, and that unofficially puts him at 220 yards for the game.
Goodness gracious. McCoyne, inside handoff to Markley. And he gets a nice little gainer there on 1st down. 5, maybe 6 yards.
It's a quick trap. Left guard pulling across, kicking out the defensive back, and he just runs right behind him. And we've seen that every time Markley runs the ball, he gets that trap call.
2nd down and 4 after that gain of 6 yards. McCoyne sends his man in motion. That's Miller. Daly, left side.
Still going.
Still plowing his way forward. Still on his feet.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's a Mississinewa on 1st down, and right now it's not only Daly running hard, but I think that Mississinewa offensive line really starting to and let's check in really quick with Katrina Blackman.
Thanks, Roger. 76 from the Indians looks to be out with a real serious injury right now. His family is surrounding him. I just witnessed him taking off his jersey, so it looks like he'll be out for the rest of the game. Back to you, Roger.
Thank you very much, Katrina Blackman. It's Kadeem Barfield. He was injured in the first half and came back in this ball game, but
that was Blake Daly on just a straight ahead give, picks up 4 yards.
Tell you what, Ron, a touchdown here would really
it would make things tough for Eastbrook for sure.
Very difficult indeed. 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in regulation. McCoyne, and now there's a whistle, and Mississinewa is going to call for a timeout.
Well, Roger, I was going to say I've run out of spots. He's carried the ball 31 times, 238 yards. That's unofficial, but well over 200 yards. Looks like he's having a career day against Eastbrook, or career night against Eastbrook. Talked about earlier the fact that this is a backyard rivalry. It's a family rivalry. People on both sides are friends. But when it comes to playing football on the east side of Grant County, right now, Mississinewa is getting the better of this game, and Eastbrook for a long time has dominated. So I just think Mississinewa has come out, their size and their efforts, and have done wonders against this Eastbrook defense.
Well, it's been a different story here of this second half than it is the first half. Both teams, long, methodical drives in the first half. They were able to convert on third downs, get touchdowns. This second half, really just a one score, obviously, from Mississinewa, but they've been able to execute just a little bit better. And Eastbrook is, when they went for it on that fourth down play, and I think you said it where I think Coach Adamson knew, this is we got to make the call here if we're going to win this. Already down 20-14. There's not going to be a lot of possessions in this football game.
That's right. That's exactly right.
McCoyne under center. Pitch to the left side. Daly gets around the corner, puts the shoulder down, turns it upfield, and he's knocked out of bounds just shy of the goal line.
1 yard line. Tyler Bennett on the stop for the Panthers.
Here we see on instant replay that he gets the toss. We've seen that over 10 times this game. A good kick out block by Markley, and he's taking the ball down. A good save that time. He gets to the 1 yard line, a 10-yard pickup for Blake Daly.
Blake Daly looking for his second touchdown potentially here. Now inside handoff, Markley.
Corey Markley up the middle.
Up the middle is a touchdown. He's in the end zone. And Mississinewa now takes the commanding lead 26-14 with the extra point to come with 7:15 to go. And now we're on to, do the Indians just kick the extra point, or maybe do they go for two here?
I think they go for two here. Here we see it right up the gut, and he just puts his shoulders down and runs over people. He only needed a yard. He gets in the end zone. His second touchdown of the game, and Mississinewa goes up 2 scores.
Markley with his second touchdown of the second half, scores second touchdown of the game, and the Indians line up to attempt the 2-point conversion.
Wouldn't want to bet who's getting it here.
Miller comes in motion towards the formation. Pitch right side, Daly. Trying to get the corner, and he's pulled down short. And here's a flag on the play. That may be a horse collar tackle.
It looked like it.
So the Indians will get one more attempt here at the 2-point conversion. This time they'll get it about a yard and a half closer.
Here it is on instant replay, and that is a horse collar. And it will,
horse collar against the Panthers.
So it'll be half the distance, a yard and a half now to run. I think he can get a yard and a half. Nice job by the Eastbrook defense coming up, but you can't horse collar a guy.
Yep.
That started at the pro level and has worked its way down to the high school. Just cannot grab a guy by the shoulder pads and throw him down.
A little bit uncharacteristic of Eastbrook in this second half, where they've had the fumble,
right?
A couple big penalties that have hurt them, and remember earlier the illegal block that gave Mississinewa a first down on their touchdown drive, and that one, of course, that penalty will give Eastbrook one more shot.
Yeah, it's your defense, and that's an easy.
Yep. And that time the Mississinewa offensive line just blows it wide open for Mr. Blake Daly. And with the 2-point conversion, it makes it 28-14. And
here comes the instant replay, and you're going to see that Markley's going to lead him up, kick out right there, and he just follows him right on into the end zone. What a great job Markley has done. Corey Markley at fullback getting that lead block for Blake Daly. And Blake Daly unofficially 33 carries, 250 yards. What a day he has had.
28-14, Mississinewa.
He's tired.
Yeah.
Big is tired.
Do you blame him? How many carries did you say?
I've got him for 33 carries.
33 carries.
I'm down in another lane for him. He's you got 31 spots. You think that's all a guy would carry. Like I said, 20 carries is a lot of carries, and he's up to 33. He's just having a wonderful game, but what a great line surge he's had, and what a great fullback he has in front of him. I don't know that I've seen that kind of power football for a long time.
Luke Elliott back deep to receive. along with Zach Martin. I tell you what, there's still a lot of time in this football game, and if there's any team you do not want to go to sleep on, it's the Eastbrook Panthers.
But you're about almost 7/8 of the game gone, and you're 2 scores down. You've got to come up with something right here on this series and something quick.
Elliott is driven back. Oh, he's hit hard at the 25-yard line and taken down at the 26. That was a pretty impressive, probably the best kickoff we've seen all night from either one of the place kickers.
That was the deepest kickoff we've seen, and then they got good cover from that line surge on the kickoff. And right here we see it coming up. A good one-on-one tackle.
I did not see who was that making the tackle for Mississinewa, but it was a good one. So Eastbrook will have it 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line.
You got to think they've got to start throwing the ball a little bit.
Bennett rolling out to the right, dumps it to Luke Elliott. Elliott has some running room. 1st down yardage and more across the 45 out near midfield.
Well, that's how you start things going. You come out and you do a little play action and you throw to your fullback out and you pick up all the way up to the 50-yard line.
You know, I've been impressed, even though it's only been a couple times, how well Bennett throws the football when he's on the run especially. A little different formation now here for Eastbrook as he splits a couple receivers out to the left.
He actually has 3 out here with the slot back.
The inside handoff, though, to Elliott. Picks up 9 yards. I thought he did lose the handle for a second.
Excuse me. We haven't seen him run the ball for a while. They had put Gunter in there, and now we've got Elliott in there. Apparently he's fresh and ready to go.
Second down and 1. Elliott gets the handoff. Picks up just enough for the 1st down before he's pushed back. Well, I think he got the 1st down. We'll wait and see. Officials are going to take a look at it, and it is a 1st down for the Eastbrook Panthers. But the clock is ticking now.
It is, and you're down to 6 minutes. You're halfway through the 4th quarter. Down 2 touchdowns. You've got to do something to get things going.
Clock stops momentarily to reset the chains, and now it's started once again. We're exactly at 6 minutes to go now here in the football game. Bennett changing the play up here a little bit. Now drops straight back. Has time. He's going to go deep. He's got a man wide open. Caught inside the 10-yard line, and let's see who that was. It might have been Braden Deshawn, or was that no, that was Luke Elliott?
Here we have on the instant replay, and what you don't see, they had 3 guys out to the right side. The outside guy comes down to the middle, and he's right on the money with it.
Let's say 1st down and goal to go from the 9-yard line. Luke Elliott hit in the backfield, and he's going to go nowhere.
30-yard pickup, by the way, back there, Roger. 82 yards of passing now for Eastbrook.
Eastbrook averages about 72 yards a ball game. You could look there at Coach Jeff Adamson.
He's animated right now.
Quarterback coach there was Harold Coates. 2nd down and 9 now. Deshawn split wide to the left. This Mississinewa crowd tries to fire up their defense. Elliott gets the handoff inside. Not much running in there at all. They'll pick up a yard or 2, and it will be now 3rd down and goal to go from about the 7-yard line. But obviously at this point we're in 4-down territory.
You have to be. And Elliott that time, he's the hammer man for him right now.
Bennett gives it the 2nd man through. Watson close to the goal line.
He is close.
Well, he's very close to the goal line. But just shy. And so now it will be 4th and goal to go. We'll call it officially on the 1-yard line. This play takes just a second to develop, Ron.
Yeah, here he is, 2nd back through. And he puts his shoulders down and gets the ball down right to the line. no question. It's 4th down. They're going to try to push it in.
Bennett.
I don't know.
Touchdown, Eastbrook Panthers. And that was, who was that?
It's
Number
from the
24.
Right side. Counter from the right side.
Number 24 for the Eastbrook Panthers.
Zach Martin.
Zach Martin. That's his 3rd touchdown of the ball game. And the Eastbrook Panthers run in just about 3 minutes. Come back and score a touchdown. They're right back in this football game.
Interesting. Zach Martin's had 4 carries for 6 yards and 3 touchdowns.
In for the extra point. Kramer has it down. It's very low. Is it good?
No.
It is just inside the upright and just over the crossbar.
3 minutes they ran off the clock to get that touchdown. What a great response that the Eastbrook offense had. They marched the ball down some 73, 74 yards in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Got the touchdown, and they're back in this ball game.
It is 28-21, 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go, and maybe the big play of that drive, not maybe, that 30-yard pass that Bennett threw and got down to about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, it was out of a triple formation, which means they have 3 guys to the right side. The outside guy goes to the middle. The inside guy comes to the outside, and the middle guy comes right towards the goalpost. They threw to the outside guy coming to the middle. He got the ball, and really is what set up that touchdown run.
And how many times have you seen it over the years, whether it's high school football or even college football, where you had a team, let's say Eastbrook in this scenario, that has kind of been the dominant team in the county for so many years, but then you see the rise of Mississinewa and how well they're playing. That kind of the underdog team, the growing team, they get some momentum. They're in a game that, but it's not, the pressure is on Mississinewa now.
It really is on Mississinewa. Watch the onside here. They've got 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage, 3 guys right behind them. So 9 of the 11 guys are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage.
The Panthers were ready to kick this one away. Let's see what they do with it. And they do kick it onside of the right side. And
he could have let that go, but he stepped up and got it. That was Seth McMullen. And he just said, I'm not letting it go 10. I'm going to get on it.
And I don't know if that ball would have ever gone 10 yards.
No, it would not have gone 10. It would have been Mississinewa ball right there. But the fact is, Seth McMullen took things in his hands. Now Mississinewa right there at the 46-yard line of Eastbrook has the command. All they've got to do is let that clock run.
Just a second here. We're going to check in with Katrina Blackman right after this play, but it's 1st down and 10 at the Eastbrook 46-yard line. Obviously, Mississinewa just wants to keep this ball on the ground and run some clock. Pitch through the right side. Daly. Just pulls over one man. He ran right over number 24, Zach Martin. Let's check in with Katrina Blackman.
Hayden Trent from the Indians has left the field with a cracked rib. He has been having trouble breathing, so he's out for the rest of the game. Back to you, Roger.
It's been a hard-hitting football game, no doubt about it. We're inside 4 minutes and another gain of nearly 10 yards. We're going to have a measurement to see if it indeed was 10 yards for Blake Daly.
Quick pitch here, Roger, and he just runs over an Eastbrook defender. And he fell down, or he might have been on a quick 6 right there.
Well, Blake Daly unofficially run. I mean, he's over 200 and 260 yards.
About 260 yards. You actually have to give him 9 there, so I've got him at 259. But he's got most of 10 yards.
It will be 2nd down and 1. I could sound crazy here, but 2nd and 1. You get a little crazy here. Maybe he'll play action pass and throw it. It's a full surprise.
No. This game is yours if you run the clock.
Daly has the 1st down. I still think it would have been a brilliant call.
Yeah, well, I'm an old coach.
I hear you.
And I'm not saying that's not a good call. I'm just saying when you've got a powerful weapon like that young man running right there, Blake Daly, who's got over 250 yards in this ball game. You just let him hammer one more time.
See, that's the thing being up here when you don't have to coach. You know, you don't have to live and die with the wins and losses. You're going to have a little fun up here.
That's right. You can't have, and I've really enjoyed this. I think what Indiana Wesleyan is doing for high school football here in Grant County is really a pretty neat thing.
All right, it's been an outstanding football game here with the Panthers and the Indians. Pitch to Daly, right side. Flag on the play, though, as Daly gets about 6 or 7 yards, but the clock will stop.
Holding against the Indians.
And that's probably the worst thing about the penalty if you're a Mississinewa fan is the clock is stopped now with the penalty.
It is, but this has been a clean game pretty much for Mississinewa. Here we see this pitch coming again. We see this motion. He's going to crack down inside right there at the point of attack. I think they're going to get the flanker coming inside on the hold, and they're going to back that ball back 10 yards.
Well, it's going to back it way back to the 44-yard line. So it will be first and about 22 yards for.
Must have been a spot foul behind the line.
By far the biggest penalty of the ball game against Mississinewa. Now a timeout on the field. It's going to be called by Eastbrook. Just want to remind you, next week, our next game on the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week here in WIWU will be coming from Oak Hill, as these very same Panthers will go on the road once again to take on the Golden Eagles. Of course, you can catch the game here on WIWU TV, 11 p.m. Different rebroadcasts throughout the week, or always go online, WIWTV.com. And you know what the great thing about the stream online, Ron, is I know we have friends who literally watch all over the country.
World. Yeah, you can watch it any place. The streaming is it's a modern marvel of our age. The fact that you can watch it any place, and with the technology being what it is. I'm an old school guy. I can remember when we used to do 16mm films with our football team. So I go way back. Now they have the DVDs and everything's online. Kids watch the game on their phones. The modern marvels of technology have really crept in everywhere, including at the high school level.
And I'm pretty sure even when Jerry Mossberg is watching in Markle, Indiana, he'll watch it online later on this week. All right, well, it is a first down, and we'll call it officially 20 yards for Mississinewa after the timeout. Just under 3 minutes to go here. Eastbrook will have 2 timeouts remaining. And off to Daly, not much going there as he gets about a yard, maybe 2, and right immediately you see Coach Adamson on the field calling for another timeout. He wants to stop the clock with this 2nd and 19.
10 yards. 10 seconds is all that ran off the clock. Coach Adamson using his timeouts to allow his team to have time to get down and score a game-tying touchdown. We're deep into this game now. If they tie it and they have to go overtime, they'll flip a coin, and they are actually going to give both sides a chance to score. So we've got to look at that scenario with overtime.
You know what? And if they need to go overtime, if they need a coin, we've got one right here for them.
Yeah, and what a coin that is. That is a super coin, the Jack and Marge coin. I think that's pretty special.
And we celebrated the 25th anniversary of the Jack and Marge Colescott Athletic Scholarship Golf Tournament earlier this year. And can you imagine that, 25 years of that tournament? And, of course, Jack Colescott, you can be in Mississinewa and claim Jack. You can be in Swayze and claim Jack. You can be in Marion, of course, and claim Jack. You can be anywhere in Grant County and claim. There's no one that Jack Colescott hasn't helped along the way somewhere.
I coached 40 years, and Jack Colescott was one of my mentors.
2nd down, and call it 20. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. I think Eastbrook has one more timeout remaining.
Wrong count.
Pitch left side. Daly turns it up. Has some running room.
There he goes.
He can go.
There he goes.
Down the left sideline at the 20, to 15, to 10, to 5. Touchdown.
Wow. They got the corner and the inside backer kicked out a 43-yard touchdown on the quick pitch. We'll see it probably coming up right here.
I tell you what, I think everybody in Gas City knew who was going to get the football, and this time the Panthers just couldn't stop it.
Oh, what a, two big blocks right there, and he turns it on. I had the question, can this guy carry the ball 30-some times and still be fresh at the end of the game? That touchdown just blew this game wide open.
Almost a carbon copy of the first touchdown of this ball game a couple hours ago in the first quarter, where he rambled some 40-odd yards to put Mississinewa on top 7-0, and that one will really seal the deal, as Mississinewa will have the extra point attempt here, but 34-21 with 2:41 to go, and the extra point is good, making it 35-21. But certainly it's been the Brent Daly show this evening here at Mississinewa.
I have him real close, if not over 300 yards for the game. That is pretty phenomenal on 36 carries. I had a couple of backs that went over 300 yards, but to have the durability this young man has, he runs hard. He doesn't take time off on defense. He plays defense. This kid is on the field all the time, and he gives you his best effort every play.
And you mentioned it earlier, but some pretty good, couple good kick-out blocks there, and I don't know, he maybe had to just slip one tackle, and once he got in the open, he was long gone.
We don't say much about the flanker who goes into motion. He does a block on the outside backer, but when he gets that pin on the outside backer and they get a kick out on the corner coming up, then once he gets past those guys, it's a foot race, and you're not going to win too many times against Blake Daly, because he'll just outrun you. And we talked about track meet. We've seen a track meet with Blake Daly here tonight.
Josh Walton in to kick it one more time. Gets a nice kick. Drives a man back about the 15-yard line. Out. About the 30-31-yard line. And that's where Eastbrook will set it up with 2 minutes and 35 seconds to go here in regulation.
We see the kickoff coming up here, and I think Seth McMullen comes up and gets a hit.
31-yard line.
We've seen some real good hits by McMullen, by Jordan Arms. There's been some guys out here that have had some really good game defensively for this Mississinewa team.
Two minutes and 35 seconds remain here in regulation. 35-21, Mississinewa on top. They're looking to go 4-2 on the season. More importantly, maybe 3-1 in CIC play. Oh, running down the seam and breaking free for Eastbrook. I think that was Justin Reese, maybe.
You give him time to throw. He's got a nice arm that he can get the ball down there. They're running trip set, which means 3 to the right, 3 receivers, and then he just picks who gets open. I think if you're Mississinewa, you need to move that free safety back just a little bit farther, because they're going to try to go for the home run every time that they throw.
Rolling to the right, Bennett dumps it short, has it complete right at the 40-yard line, but it will be short of the first down. And so the clock will continue to run. That pass was completed to Justin Reese.
Short of the first down, brings up third down.
So the Panthers will try to move it quickly. Elliott.
Luke Elliott on the carry up the middle.
Pulls ahead for the first down, and the clock will stop.
Blake Daly on the stop for the Indians.
5-yard pickup for Elliott. That's his 13th carry, most of them being here in the second half.
1st and 10, exactly 2 minutes. Rolling to his left now, dumping in the flat for Elliott. And that was really nowhere near the intended receiver. That's a tough throw, I would think, for a right-handed quarterback rolling to his left.
Yeah, it's if you're just dropping straight back, it's an easy throw. But if you're rolling back to your left, you've got to really pull that shoulder around, and that's a hard thing to do for the quarterback as he's running the ball back to his left.
Clock stops with 1:55 on the incomplete pass. 2nd and 10. Straight drop, dumped across the middle, complete to Zach Martin. He gets right out to midfield. Actually, that was Watson with the reception.
Seth McMullen on the stop.
96 yards of passing now for Bennett.
Third down and 4. It's 4-down territory, of course, for Eastbrook. It's a completed pass inside Mississinewa territory. Once again to Watson. Gets it down to the 44-yard line. Eastbrook will have a first down.
Mississinewa has forced them to get out of their running game and go to all pass to try to get back in this ball game.
There's a blitz, and they were setting up the screen, and Eastbrook snuffed that one out as Watson would have been better served if he had just let that one go to the ground. They're going to lose 3 yards.
-3 yards, and you don't write that down very many times. Oh, what a hit. Oh, what a hit.
2nd down and 13, under a minute to go. Reese split wide to the left, straight drop. Bennett looking that way, throwing down the run, has his man wide open. Reese broke free inside the 30 and finally brought down inside the 20, inside the 15 at the 11-yard line.
That's a 37-yard pickup.
If there's been maybe one thing you could be critical of the Mississinewa defense here in the second half is
they've been soft. They've been soft. That was a skinny post that he ran that time.
Inside handoff, nowhere to go at all. Losing
clock running
a couple yards. And Eastbrook is going to use their final timeout.
And he stopped in his backfield for a loss of yardage.
Take a look at the replay there.
Timeout.
And you can see they didn't fool anybody.
No, they had a chance, Eastbrook did, to maybe with the one timeout remaining, try to run, sneak a run in there, but with 26.5 seconds to go, they don't have that luxury at all anymore. They got to put it in the air.
Take a miracle right here. Mississinewa came out. They established their running game with Daly and they just did what they wanted to offensively, which forced Eastbrook to get out of their running game. We thought maybe with Eastbrook having the extra set of offense in the second half, maybe they would have an opportunity to run this game. But the turnover hurt them. The penalties have hurt them. And probably very uncharacteristic of what Jeff Adamson wanted to see out of his team tonight.
2nd down and 11. Bennett looking to the right, rolls that way. Now he's going to tuck it and run. And
cannot stop the clock.
Nope. Probably better served to just to throw that one away that time as the clock now continues to run. And there was a gain of about 4 yards. And the Mississinewa fans can smell it. The victory in the air now. There's an incomplete pass. It's knocked down near the line of scrimmage. That might have been Daly who knocked it down.
0.3 seconds. Now, they can get a play off here. But 0.3 seconds left.
I certainly think that the Mississinewa Indians tonight were a team on a mission,
Yes.
You talked about the rivalry. You talked about, the chance to, get a little revenge, if you will.
They did. This is
Bennett under pressure, throws towards the end. Incomplete. That's the ball game. And the Mississinewa Indians, with a big second half, come away with the 35-21 victory over the Eastbrook Panthers. Mississinewa, with the victory, will move to 4-2 overall, but more importantly, 3-0 in conference play. Eastbrook falls to 3-3, 2-2 in conference play, and sets up some big matchups down the line for Mississinewa with teams like Oak Hill and Madison Grant.
You know, it's Eastbrook now has 2 losses in the county. They lost to Madison Grant last week. They lose to Mississinewa this week. And maybe there's a change in the weather or something coming here, because the team that has dominated over the last 20 years now has tasted defeat twice in the county. I think they still have Oak Hill to play, and Oak Hill, a very strong team. So I guess what I'm saying is we're seeing change in the dominating forces, and certainly the running game that we saw out of Mississinewa here tonight was the difference in this game. And Blake Daly, what can you say? Yeah, he had a lot of good blockers, but Blake Daly getting pretty close to 300 yards for the night is pretty phenomenal.
Well, the first half, we went into the locker room tied up at 14 apiece. Mississinewa, we thought, had that chance to end the first half to maybe really see some momentum and go into the locker room with the lead. And Eastbrook got the football to start the second half, and
they did.
Couldn't really do anything with it. That third quarter really killed Eastbrook, I think, in many ways.
It did, and you said it too. A fumble, penalties, and not just penalties offensively, but penalties defensively that allowed Mississinewa to continue their drives. And Mississinewa had 3 touchdowns in the second half to 1 for Eastbrook, and game, set, and match, so to speak, because this game and this now this part of Grant County, the Eastern, belongs to Mississinewa.
Well, then, of course, after that fourth quarter, Mr. Daly took over, and we've talked a lot about him, right? But he really did take over the fourth quarter, and I think at that point, Eastbrook, they just didn't have an answer for him. They came up with a couple good stands, but then that 45-yard touchdown run, that was the backbreaker.
Yeah, that was, and that toss was good to them all night. I like that power game that they have. They use that fullback really well. A lot of teams have gone away from a fullback. They like a single set. But Mississinewa, they like that power set. They like the ball up between the tackles with what we call an ISO, where you get up on the linebacker. They like the outside game with the fullback. And I guess I can't say enough about Corey Markley, the way he blocks for his tailback, and he allowed his tailback then to get, I think, in the neighborhood of 300 yards for the game.
Get a good look there at the Mississinewa Indians and the head coach, Kurt Funk. And, I don't know, I've always heard about the 24-hour rule. Enjoy that win.
That's right.
For 24 hours, but get ready to move on to the next one. I think same thing applies to if you lose a tough ball game. You should feel it for 24 hours, but you can't dwell on it either.
They'll come in and they'll look at both teams will come in tomorrow morning and look at film. And you're right, you cannot dwell, because next Friday is another game, and next Friday is another game, and you've got to, for Mississinewa, they've got a real run now in the conference. They've still got to play the teams that are ahead of them. So even the one loss that they have can be overcome by beating the leaders right now.
And you certainly, nobody better count out Coach Jeff Adamson and the Eastbrook Panthers if you have them on your schedule yet, because they have a couple losses, but they very easily could have beat Madison Grant last week. And this game might have turned out a little bit differently had a few things gone a little bit differently in the second half.
Yeah, they just Eastbrook, though, I thought was a little flat coming out of the second half, and Mississinewa took advantage of that flatness.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at some of our final statistics. We'll have some highlights and more. This has been the Grant County High School Football Game of the Week on WIWU TV.
This week on Day Trippin', we head to northern Indiana and tour the city of Valparaiso.
We walk through downtown, sample some delicious ice cream, and visit a railway garden.
And taste the world's best gummies at Albanese Candy Factory.
It's a sweet adventure this week on Day Trippin'.
Your community station, WIWU TV.
Welcome back to Mississinewa High School and the Grant County High School football game of the week on WIWU TV. We're going to take it down to the field and check in with Katrina Blackman and Coach Kurt Funk.
Thanks, Roger. I'm here with Coach Funk. Close game today. How do you feel your senior leaders stepped up to keep your team focused today?
Oh, I'm so proud of our senior leadership today. We had I don't want to leave anybody out, but we just had a group of seniors that just refused to lose tonight. It was 14-14 at halftime, and our kids, they responded to the adjustments we made, and we kept preaching all week. We got to be a physical football team. And this football team tonight, they left it on that field. They were physical, and I'm just really proud of our Indians.
Yeah, I heard that at halftime you talked to them about passion. Don't leave the field with any regrets. Do you think they did that second half?
They did. They definitely had passion. That's something we preach is passion and intensity, and our kids had that in the second half. And, again, I'm just so proud of them. It's a 4-quarter football game, and our kids played hard all 4 quarters, and I'm proud of them.
Now, Hayden Trent left the field with a serious injury. How will your team look if he doesn't have a speedy recovery?
Yeah, that's a big blow for us. We had to have a senior step in that's never played that position tonight. He put on someone else's jersey because he usually wears number 9 and plays tight end for us, Jordan Arms. And that's just we always talk about being a warrior, and that's being a warrior for our football program right there. And Hayden Trent, our thoughts and prayers are with him. I hope that everything's okay. We know he had something with his rib situation, and I just hope he's all right.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Back to you, Roger.
All right. Thank you very much. Katrina Blackman back here in the press box one more time to talk about this Mississinewa victory here tonight. And, it doesn't get any easier, though, for the Indians because now next week they go on the road to take on Madison Grant. But we're going to take a look at some of the final stats here in this ball game. Eastbrook, you can see the passing yards. Of course, they had to go to the pass a little bit more in that second half, but they threw the ball effectively a few times. But look at those rushing yards. It's hard to win a football game when you give up 408 yards.
I had Blake for over 300 yards. I had him for 305 unofficially. Blake Daly. That will be recognized all over the state tonight because that just doesn't happen. And the
it doesn't happen
36
against a team as good as Eastbrook. That's what stands out to me. I mean, you might see those kinds of numbers against a team that's maybe not that strong, right. But you're talking about doing that against Eastbrook. And that's extra special, I would say. First downs there for Mississinewa. 20 first downs. They moved the football well. Great job by Eastbrook. I mean, they moved the football, especially in the the first half. That one fumble that really hurt Eastbrook, and gave up a couple sacks that hurt them a few times. But that fumble, that turnover, that was a tough one in this kind of ball game.
It did, and of course the passing game. It was a good passing game for Eastbrook. I had them for 9 of 15. Mm-hmm. So you throw 60%. You're doing something good, 136 yards. But a lot of that came after they got down 2 scores, and Mississinewa bent, but they didn't break.
Yeah. And I want to send it right back down to the field here really quick with Katrina Blackman. She's got, I think she's got Blake Daly with her.
I believe he's down there.
Actually, Corey Markley.
Thanks, Roger. Corey, it's your senior year. So what are the goals that you have for your team?
Our team had the goals of winning CIC and winning sectionals before the season started, and we're still sticking to our goals as we play right now.
All right. Did tonight's performance reflect a good week of practice?
Yeah, that and preparation. Our coaches work really hard on that, and we execute and practice every day hard as we can. So.
Okay. Just a real quick talk about Hayden Trent. He went down with an injury today. Yep. Can you just tell a little bit about what that means to your team?
Injuries left and right. It's just hard, but he's going to bounce back from it. He has that mentality. He's going to come back, so I think he'll be all right.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Back to you, Roger.
Thank you very much, Katrina Blackman. There you get a good look there at Blake Daly. And in this football game, I was going to kind of go back to one thing, Coach, in that fourth quarter, Eastbrook came back. They got the one score, and we're going to get a little momentum going. I think the way Mississinewa responded, we talked about, maybe the pressure on Mississinewa
this year, this is their chance, to get back at Eastbrook and make something that they responded to the pressure really well, showed a lot of maturity, showed a lot of leadership, and just put together some great drives to really seal the deal here.
Well, you've got a back running. They had to do something. They had to move the ball because it wasn't so much important that they scored. It was to run the clock down. And, of course, when Blake Daly broke loose for that last, let's see how much he
was about 44 yards on that touchdown.
So when he broke loose for that, it was just icing on the cake, so to speak. 43 yards on that last touchdown. A pretty special night for a pretty special young man. But it wasn't just him. It was that offense clicked on all cylinders tonight. Like I said, we don't say much about the flanker usually, but he came in. He got some key blocks on the outside backer for him. The surging line, when they ran up between the tackles, got big blocks for him to allow him to run. And, of course, the fact that Blake Daly can run over people and that are there in the hole adds a lot to his game. And so he is just a very special back in not just Grant County, but in this state right now.
I'm going to head down to the field one more time. And speaking of Blake Daly, Katrina Blackman has him right now.
All right, Blake, so it's your senior year. Now give me some insight on the goals that you have this year.
Well, first of all, to start the year, we wanted to win the conference. We wanted to come out and be the most physical team in the conference, and I think tonight that's what won this game, was being the most physical team in the conference.
Okay. You also had a great crowd tonight. How did that feed into your performance?
Oh, man, when you're out on the field, you're under these lights, you got everybody screaming, it just propels you. I mean, you want to run every play as fast as you can, as hard as you can, and that's just what happened tonight.
Okay. After a win like tonight, how is practice going to be on Monday? Are you guys going to take it easy, or are you going to not take it light, just go right back to work?
We don't even wait till Monday. We're going to come in here tomorrow, lift weights hard in the morning. We come in at 9 o'clock a.m., lift weights, condition. It's going to be even harder now that we know we're in the conference hunt. We want to win it outright. We don't want to share it with anybody, so it's going to translate into us working even harder for it.
All right, it sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you, Roger.
All right, thank you, Katrina Blackman. And it's been great to have Katrina down on the field tonight.
Yeah, she's added a lot to it. She's not just a basketball player. She's showing her other talents that she can actually do the sideline reporting. And she got a couple nice interviews there with Corey Markley and Blake Daly, and who were probably the leaders tonight for this victorious Mississinewa team.
Take a look at some highlights of this first half. And that was what we talked about, that fumble there really – the only turnover of the football game, but you couldn't afford to have turnovers in this one.
Killed momentum for them.
Mississinewa really wasn't that effective with the pass. In fact,
no, they were 0 for 2.
Didn't have to.
But they had Blake Daly, and Blake Daly right here. This was one that we wondered, should they have called that a little quicker? And then, of course, the fans wanted a roughing penalty here, and so did Coach Funk. But they came back with a lot of vigor. They took Blake Daly out to put Corey Markley back there at tailback. He got another touchdown, and I think he got 2 for the game.
Well, and that was a play that just showed the physical nature of this football game. But these were the kind of plays just in and out of the second half that really hurt Eastbrook, and that's not how they set up the return and then of course the penalty.
Well, this one right here was a drop ball, which just cost him a down and just stopped momentum. Here is the strength of Blake Daly, just running over people, and that's what you saw tonight. A young man who would not be stopped.
That time, Blake Daly just kind of stood up and watched as Markley got the next touchdown, but he celebrates with his team. Came back later, and that was the one right there that maybe. Well, did ice it, put them up by 2 scores, 2 touchdowns.
Nice pass here by the junior. One of the cousins. We started out talking about that fact that it was a family feud, and certainly the freshman, McCoyne, his team won against the junior who was Bennett.
And that touchdown just a moment ago by Martin made it 28-21. Thought Eastbrook might have a shot here, but then that 44-yard scamper by Daly really iced the deal, and then the defense from Mississinewa closed it out.
Yeah, that was lineman right there. And the defensive line was really special for Mississinewa tonight, too.
Of course, Eastbrook trying to make something happen. I think at this point the game has certainly kind of already been determined, but trying to make something positive to happen at the end of the game. But the defense holds for Mississinewa, and the score.
You know, people will look at this game and they'll look at those highlights and they'll say, why didn't Eastbrook go to the passing game earlier? Well, the idea was to run and keep the offense, and I mentioned that early in this game, keep the offense of Mississinewa off, and it worked early in the game. In fact, it worked the first half.
Yes.
But once that they had to, they got behind and they had to start throwing, well, they got yards, but they didn't get touchdowns. And the idea here, I think Coach Adamson's idea of killing the clock so to keep Blake Daly from running the ball was a good idea. It's just that his offense couldn't come through and get the touchdowns he needed to match Blake Daly's touchdowns.
And in that third quarter, there were times where you saw Eastbrook try to make a few defensive adjustments, you know, pinching a little bit more, linebackers coming up. And it worked a time or two, but Mississinewa makes their adjustments, and after a while, Daly just kind of warm out.
It's a superior athleticism that Daly had, and he just started knocking people down. And when you start knocking people down as a runner, the game probably is going to belong to your team.
Well, and it was a great football game, and Ron, it certainly was great having you here tonight. And
enjoyed it.
Of course, next week it'll be these very same Eastbrook Panthers on the road at Oak Hill, who were trailing tonight. So it could have been a very, very big night in the CIC action. We'll see how it all unfolds. All right, well, we certainly want to thank everyone for joining us here tonight from Mississinewa High School. Your final score one more time, Mississinewa 35, Eastbrook Panthers 21. We'll catch
Coming up on Destination Tomorrow, NASA looks to the future of flight with a revolutionary airplane design called the Blended Wing Body. We'll also see how NASA engineers intentionally crash aircraft to unlock the secrets of safety. And we meet a retired NASA engineer who helped man achieve supersonic flight at over 40